7 signs God is showing you that someone is a covert narcissist. Everyone, it's truly wonderful to have you here. As we journey through life, we might encounter individuals who seem to be excessively focused on themselves and their accomplishments. You might know them as narcissists. Many people possess this attitude, firmly believing that they can do no wrong. They feel entitled to whatever they desire, and that the world should cater to them at all times. The most concerning form of narcissism is when it's hidden beneath the surface, the covert narcissist. Outwardly, they may seem pleasant and friendly, but behind the scenes, they're capable of causing significant harm to your emotional and physical well-being while sabotaging your relationships. Without further ado, let's begin our exploration. To help you recognize and navigate your interactions with a covert narcissist, whether at a social gathering or anywhere else, we've prepared a list of 7 distinct warning signs. Keep watching to empower yourself with knowledge and foster healthier relationships in your life. But wait, if you haven't already, you might benefit from my complimentary course titled Narcissism 101, Early Warning Signs, Escaping the Trap, and Rebuilding Your Life. If you're interested, please find the link provided in the description box below. Let's begin by discussing the first indicator of a covert narcissist, the victim mentality. It's important to note that this trait can be particularly alluring to individuals with a propensity to rescue others. Perhaps you feel compelled to help others and offer support, even if you don't consciously seek out individuals who identify as victims. Covert narcissists may present themselves as needing your emotional or material assistance, and in the short term may appear to value your approval. However, over time, you may realize that the relationship has become one-sided and you are being manipulated for their benefit. What's interesting is that manipulation is at the core of each of the signs we'll be examining today, although it isn't explicitly listed. Covert narcissists may present themselves as having a victim complex and use it to get what they want from you. They may make you feel guilty by playing on your generosity, such as stating that they've never received a certain item or that they've never been to a particular place. If you enjoy making others happy, you may go to great lengths to provide them with gifts or activities. However, if they continue to behave like a victim and bring up their past hardships, it's possible that they're manipulating you. Be cautious of individuals who immediately divulge their past experiences, whether they stem from a difficult upbringing or past abusive relationships. This could be an indication that there is underlying narcissism. Those with a victim mentality may exploit their prior misfortunes, while healed individuals may discuss their experiences at a more appropriate time. This creates a disadvantageous effect of concealing the covert narcissist's true manipulative nature, as they may be mistaken for someone who is simply insecure or damaged. Let's move on to sign number 2. Covert narcissists are critical, but cowardly. In contrast to the blatant narcissist, who is unapologetic in their self-praise, covert narcissists are more discreet. They may provide a lot of criticism, becoming agitated while driving, but once you're face-to-face, they'll start to backtrack. They prefer to operate in secrecy, gossiping about you behind your back rather than confronting you directly. This is a phenomenon I have observed in the partners of covert narcissists. It's often frustrating when covert narcissists refuse to own up to their criticisms. They are, in reality, just cowards hiding in the shadows, afraid to be honest with you. They may only admit their criticisms if they receive support from others, and even then, they need to be surrounded by individuals who can protect them from being disproven. They constantly crave approval and avoid any situations that could lead to conflicts or arguments as they fear exposure. Moving on to the third sign. Covert narcissists tend to be lazy and unproductive. Covert narcissists desire a lot but are unwilling to exert much effort to obtain it. They want the ideal partner, perfect relationship, and ideal life, but they are not willing to put in the hard work to achieve it. Instead, they make excuses and deceive others, using manipulation to persuade others to do the work for them. They may attempt to manipulate you into doing housework or asking for assistance at work to further their career. However, if their manipulation fails, they lack the initiative to carry out their goals on their own. Covert narcissists may fixate on individuals who are empathetic and generous, as these individuals may be susceptible to their manipulation. Although there is nothing inherently wrong with being generous, it may become problematic if it leads to enabling behavior. It's crucial to be on guard if you tend to be a generous person, as covert narcissists may target you for their manipulative tactics. Taking a moment to evaluate the situation before providing assistance is a wise move. While it's true that giving may be a positive thing, providing assistance to individuals who exhibit toxic behavior is not in anyone's best interest. Moving on to the fourth sign, passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior is often difficult to recognize, as individuals may make subtle, indirect comments that are intended to be critical of you behind your back. The comments may appear polite on the surface, such as, "Oh, must be nice," or "Oh, I wish I could have something like that." However, covert narcissists who exhibit passive-aggressive behavior may secretly feel disdain or jealousy towards you and struggle to cope with the success of others. While these individuals may offer words of praise or support, they are often insincere and hold no weight in their eyes. They may even become more jealous or hateful when they encounter someone else in their social circle who achieves success in the same arena. Rather than acknowledging their jealousy, they resort to passively aggressive remarks to gain your approval. If you confront them about their behavior, they may dismiss you and suggest that you are being overly sensitive. Moving on to the fifth sign, they are defensive. When dealing with a covert narcissist, their true colors may emerge. They can become defensive and lash out, which can be terrifying for those who are unaware of their true nature. The goal of the covert narcissist in such situations is to make you feel weak and vulnerable, so you will retreat. I have observed this behavior in many relationships. One partner may complain about the covert narcissist's behavior, only to be met with defensiveness and aggression. The covert narcissist is notoriously guarded and focused externally rather than internally. Although it is possible for narcissists to undergo changes in behavior, they are generally resistant to introspection and personal growth. They may make minor adjustments to maintain the status quo, but they may not be interested in making any significant changes. This is why setting healthy boundaries is crucial, not to change the narcissist's behavior, but to protect yourself from being negatively influenced by them. Covert narcissists create a reality where they are the center of attention, and anything or anyone else revolves around them. When challenged, they may deny any wrongdoing and cling to their self-image. This makes it challenging to approach them, and they may be defensive and attempt to shift the blame onto you. So, covert narcissists who exhibit defensive behavior are focused on protecting their fragile egos and may be challenging to change. Setting healthy boundaries is essential to protect ourselves from their negative influence. Moving on to the sixth trait, they are sensitive. These individuals have a fragile sense of self-worth and are often unable to handle criticism or negative feedback. They may appear to be vulnerable or the victim when they feel injured or face competition. Despite their denials, they may take pleasure in the misfortunes of others. Sensitive covert narcissists may display nitpicking behavior and toxic positivity. They crave validation and support from others and may react negatively to suggestions or feedback that threaten their self-image. When offering a solution to a problem, they may become defensive and shift responsibility elsewhere. They crave reassurance from the outside world and may become sensitive to feedback that suggests they are not doing the best they can. Some healthy individuals can handle honest feedback and constructive criticism, but sensitive covert narcissists are unable to receive input that threatens their self-worth. It's crucial to recognize that these individuals need constant validation and may react negatively to niceties. Moving on to the seventh trait, they are controlling. Covert narcissists have a strong need for power and control over their environment, including their relationships. They want all of their partner's attention, energy, money, and love, and they may become jealous or passive-aggressive when someone else receives these things. They may use guilt to manipulate others into submission and control by appealing to their sense of victimhood. This manipulation can take the form of indirect attacks on the other person's persona, such as saying, "I thought you loved me," or "Why are you spending time with them instead of me?" These attacks are an attempt to exert control and power by making the other person feel guilty. It's crucial to distinguish between human guilt and spiritual guilt when dealing with these situations. Divine guilt is necessary for repentance and forgiveness of sins, while manipulating someone with guilt is a tactic of demonic guilt. Therefore, it's essential to establish firm boundaries and resist manipulation to maintain healthy relationships. Although it can be challenging to establish boundaries, once they are in place, life becomes easier. However, it is essential to reevaluate these limits and make necessary changes for the right reasons, such as personal growth, and not out of guilt or manipulation. Before we conclude, I'd like to ask you one final question. Can you share any additional characteristics that you have noticed in a covert narcissist? Please let us know in the comments below. If you're experiencing the negative impacts of a toxic relationship, we encourage you to explore our free courses. We've provided a link in the description, so please don't hesitate to check them out. Until next time, have a great day.
So, everyone, today we just talked about a topic that affects many of us, covert narcissism. You may know someone who seems excessively focused on themselves and their accomplishments, but what about those who are more subtle in their self-praise? They might appear nice and friendly on the surface, but behind closed doors, they can cause significant harm to our emotional and physical well-being while sabotaging our relationship. So, to help you recognize and navigate your interactions with a covert narcissist, let's summarize again the distinct warning signs of covert narcissism. First and foremost, a covert narcissist may present themselves as having a victim complex and use it to get what they want from you. They may make you feel guilty by playing on your generosity. So be cautious of individuals who immediately divulge their past experiences, whether they stem from a difficult upbringing or past abusive relationships. With a concealed personality, they can be critical but cowardly. Unlike a blatant narcissist who is unapologetic in their self-praise, they prefer to act in secrecy, gossiping about you behind your back rather than confronting you directly. The next sign is that they tend to be lazy and unproductive. Covert narcissists desire a lot but are unwilling to exert much to achieve it. They may make excuses and deceive others using manipulation to persuade them to do the work for them. Moving on, they are passive-aggressive. They may secretly feel disdain or jealousy towards you and struggle to cope with the success of others. When confronted, they may dismiss you and suggest that you are being overly sensitive. Covert narcissists who exhibit defensive behavior are focused on protecting their fragile egos and might be challenging to change. So it is essential to set healthy boundaries to protect ourselves from their negative influence. They are also sensitive with a fragile sense of self-worth, making it hard to handle criticism or negative feedback. Thus, they crave validation and support from others and may react negatively to suggestions or feedback that threatens their self-image. And finally, they are extremely controlling. Covert narcissists have a strong need for power and control over their environment, including their relationships. They might use guilt to manipulate others into submission and control by appealing to their sense of victimhood, among other things. It can be challenging to establish boundaries with such people, but once they are in place, life becomes easier. However, it is essential to reevaluate these limits and make necessary changes for the right reasons, such as personal growth and not out of guilt or manipulation. Before we end today's video, we'd like to remind you that if you are experiencing the negative impacts of a toxic relationship, there is help available. Please check out our free courses on the subject. You can check them out in the link in the description box below. And I think that's all from us today. Take care and we will see you again next time. So have a nice day, everyone.